And it's a virtue to practice respect. It's a quality inside of you. It's something beautiful to authentically respect another, or a quality, or a person, or someone in history. To have respect, you naturally feel a little bit less than them. They are greater than you. But it's not that you don't both have to urinate. You do both need to urinate. It's not like they don't urinate anymore. It's not that. It's that they have something admirable. They have some quality. They have some something to look up to. And so then it becomes the quality of what do you actually look up towards. You know, you could be like the boys in the playground who look up to the one boy who fights the best. Or you could, as the boys on the school ground, look up to the boy who has the best bike. Or like the kid in the school grounds, you look up to the one who knows the best curse words. You know, those are like, you look up to those things. You don't know all those curse words, whatever the meaning might be, you're not quite sure, but they know them. Then you look up to them. They're bullies, and you look up to them because you got to watch out for them. Lots of ways in which this works, but who do we actually look up towards? Who is worthy? We have trouble with who's worthy. You know, used to be like the president, used to be someone to look up towards. Used to be that a good businessman was like noble of heart. And we used to look, a long time ago, we used to look up to banks. We used to think, oh, bank is a good, stable institution. It's a safe place to put your money. We don't have much that we can look up towards. Today, the spaceship is joining with the space station. We're looking up to something, wow, that we couldn't do. But from time immemorial, we have always looked up to goodness. I mean, a little bit, sometimes we're a little bit shy about goodness because sometimes goodness looks like it gets taken advantage of. That badness, maybe badness is more worthy of looking up towards. I mean, you know, they get away with it. Why shouldn't we look up to them? They get rich, cutthroat, and they get rich. We look up to wealth. We look up to power. We look up to authority. We look up to those things. But each and every one of those things, including the spaceship, are all impermanent. It doesn't matter whether they are the kids on the school ground or the president or the businessman who's, taking his more than his share. They are all impermanent. They're not going to win for very long. They're all going to face their extinction. But so is the good guy. Although the good guy, who is selfless and loving and generous and kind, we aspire and we see that those are qualities. That goodness is actually good inside of them. Versus bad inside of them, like toxic. But good and bad are both impermanent. So what do we look up towards then? We look towards what is beyond impermanence. We look to what is unmade. Because everything that is made is impermanent. Everything that is created here, put together of parts, is going to fall apart. Nothing can remain the same. Composite, impermanent, vulnerable. And so why are we looking up to that? This is where the teachings come to explain that there is more than impermanence. And at first our mind leaps and then we think, oh, there must be something permanent. That would be good. We could look up to whatever's permanent. But there is nothing permanent. Permanence and impermanence are both time-bound. And time-bound is fragile. It's a memory waiting to happen. It is not keepable. So what then are the great masters, the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, and great masters pointing to? They're pointing to timelessness. They're pointing to unmadeness. They're pointing to what is not vulnerable to destruction. Uncuttable, unbreakable, victorious. Isn't something way down the road somewhere when we land on some other planet and we, figure out some other way to do these things. It's not like that. It's actually completely, timelessly already. And that's called Buddha. And it is so admirable. It is so respectable. It is so completely radiant with qualities of love, compassion, and wisdom. And so we respect, we bow, we prostrate. It's not exactly to someone, because that someone is impermanent, but it's to the essence of being that they are free within, unbound by birth and death, unbound by improvement and reduction, unbound by hope and fear, gain and loss, unbound by creation, destruction. That is Buddha. That is Buddha nature. And it isn't even a name. Even a name doesn't apply. Because the name Buddha, it's impermanent. But the essence